Hello, dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to your favorite show, the Cricket Happening Show with your host Tom. On this particular cricket show, we are talking about Australia winning the uh, Test series v West Indies 2-0, absolutely in a canter, one could call. And it was a huge win by 419 runs. But one was really surprised the way the West Indies batsmen totally caved in after the stiff resistance which was provided by Jason Holder and Devon Thomas the previous day. Well, that was a bit baffling, according to me. And I think West Indies were totally outplayed in this series against Australia, which we'll be dwelling on. And the next match, which I'm talking about, between England uh, uh, between England and Pakistan. Oh, that match, there is enough time for Pakistan to go and forge a victory and level the series against England. Time is not a constraint. You have full 2 days. But let me tell you, the pitch is not behaving properly right now. There is uneven bounce, and I think it's going to be very difficult. As I told you, Pakistan was batting last, and at the time that I'm talking right now, on close of play at stumps on the third day, they had lost 4 wickets for I think it was around 60 runs, if I'm not wrong. No, 198 for 4 at close of play. England have given Pakistan a target of 355 runs to chase. Another 157 runs separate them. And as I said, it is a very, very interesting day which is coming up tomorrow in this test match between England and Pakistan. 157 runs for Pakistan to get 6 wickets intact. But for England, it's a matter of getting those 6 wickets. And I think I would probably tilt it slightly towards England. I'll be talking about that later in the program. And right now, let's have a look at the Australia versus West Indies. As I said, we are talking about the final day's play. In fact, let me check that. Yes. No, in fact, the match was over in just 4 days. Uh, and I mean, as I said, after the resistance that West Indies had put the previous day against the Aussie pace and swing attack of Mitchell Stark and company, one would have probably thought that Jason Holder and Devon Thomas would have just it was they would have still gone on. But yesterday, the first wicket to go was Devon Thomas. Devon Thomas was caught behind a fuller length delivery from Mitchell Stark. He flashed at it, edge, and Carey was into business right away when this West Indian innings was wound up for just 77 runs, the second lowest total against Australia. Uh, as I said, the manner of their succumbing to the Aussies was something which was really questionable. So Devon Thomas was the first to go in the morning, and after that, what a magnificent delivery from Mitchell Stark. I mean, this was a tremendous delivery, absolutely a cracker jacker of a delivery, one could call, because this was a ball from Mitchell Stark. He has pitched it up on the off stump, and probably Jason Holder was probably thinking, since probably the ball is going to move away at the last moment, the ball absolutely found a gap between bat and pad. It was Jason Holder on the forward press there, and the ball going through the gate and hitting the off stump. The off stump was cartwheeling. Now, this is not something which we see in international cricket nowadays. We have seen the stumps cartwheeling in those days when the pace attack of the Aussies and the West Indians was totally red hot. But seeing the stumps cartwheeling was simply a great sight to watch. And Jason Holder was simply perplexed because he was playing in the line, and the ball, as I said, just went in through the gate and hit the timber. So that was the end of Jason Holder. Jason Holder was gone, and once Jason Holder went, one knew that the writing was on the wall. Jason Holder was bowled by Stark for 11, one boundary. After that, Joshua De Silva and Roston Chase. But again, the resistance was pretty meek, one could call, as Michael Nasser took over after that. Michael Nasser picked up the wicket, and as I said, Alex Carey was in business totally there as he started picking up catches. Some brilliant catches taken by Alex Carey behind the sticks. First, it was the turn of Joshua De Silva, who was on the back foot. He was pinned on the crease by this delivery from Michael Nasser. Michael Nasser really has been very impressive. He has got the ball to jag in and jag out, and here he comes in using the seam, and he forced Joshua De Silva into a nick, and that was the end of Joshua De Silva. So it was a regulation catch, and the West Indian innings, as I said, were in total tatters. They were 76 for 8. Roston Chase was the next victim. He was also a victim of the bowling of the same combination. Carey bowled Nasser as Chase actually, tried to turn the delivery, but well, it just took a very thin outside edge, one could call, and in fact, it was a good catch. In fact, Carey was really himself. He was surprised when he took that catch. That was very well taken because it was a very faint deflection of the bat, one could call. And that was the end of Roston Chase. Scott Carey bowled Nasser for 13 with 2 boundaries. After that, it was simply just a cleaning up job which was done. Alzari Joseph was clean bowled by Nathan Lyon for just 3 runs as he tried a big heave at the ball of at the spin of Nathan Lyon and lost his stumps. And that was also Nathan Lyon's 450th Test wicket. What a bowler Nathan Lyon has been for Australia. He has been holding this cherry, and every time he has been there with the Aussies in all the victories that has happened, and he has played such a vital role. 450 Test wickets for Nathan Lyon. Anderson Phillip was not out on one. Marquino Mendley just came there, and as you know, he was half fit. He was a victim of Nasser as well. Again, another catch from Alex Carey, sealing the game with Australia winning the game by 419 runs. A huge victory for Australia. And it was once again Alex Carey showing his wicket-keeping skills here as he leapt to his right. He almost put in a dive right in front of David Warner at first slip and grabbed the ball. And that was a catch. And that was the end of this particular match. Australia winning by huge margin of 419 runs. And looking at the figures, the wickets were easily shared by Mitchell Starc, 3 for 29, 3 for 22. Michael Nasser, very impressive in his outing here. Scott Boland did not add up to his wickets, 3 for 16. Another 9, 450th Test wicket, 1 for 8. So that was it. And as I said, West Indies have been totally outplayed in this 2-Test series. Yes, one can understand the fact that West Indies had to grapple with lots of injury problems, unfit players, which is unfortunate. But nevertheless, Australia totally, they were just having a party against the West Indies, one could call. Travis said for his wonderful contribution of 175 and 38 not out in this match, got the man of the match out, and Manus Labuschagne, the Australian run machine, with 502 runs in this two-test series, has taken away the player of the series. I think there's a lot of work for West Indies to do, but again, not really reading into it much, according to me, as the West Indians are totally crippled with a lot of injuries and unfit players. But let's talk about Australia. What the forthcoming series? Yes, this was a very easy series for Australia, but the series which is coming up, let me tell you that is going to be an absolutely a sort of such an accelerating battle between these two teams, because we are talking about South Africa, who already set their foot in Australia, already playing the tour games. The players are looking in good form. Kyle Vereen has made 80 odd runs, I suppose. Dean Elgar started off with a century. Bavuma is getting better. And also Rassie van der Dussen the other day scored had a good score as well. So looking at it, I think we are in for a real battle when the swords will be drawn once again at the Gabba in Brisbane on December the 17th, when the first test starts between South Africa and Australia. And South Africa won't, I mean, definitely Australia won't have happy memories of South Africa visiting Australia last time. As you would remember, that saga that happened when David Warner, Steve Smith, and also I think it was Matthew Renshaw. These were the three players who were involved into the scuffing of the ball, as you would remember, with the chewing gum, as you would all remember. Now, that is something which is a saga which is still ripe in memory. Now, this is where, as I said, battles will be really drawn at the Gabba in Brisbane on 17th of December, and the first test starts at the Gabba in Brisbane between Australia and South Africa. And I really can't wait to have a glimpse of it. Well, let's turn on the attention now to Pakistan. England versus Pakistan. We are looking at yesterday, as I said, England overnight score. They had Harry Brook in the middle with 74 odd runs, and he was looking out for a ton. Yes, he definitely got a ton. He really went after the bowling, and he got his second test ton, and also the second test ton in the series as well. 108 to his name. And seriously, Harry Brook is becoming one hell of a player for England, and definitely he's the real player for the future for England from now on. What a player Harry Brook is! And Harry Brook, 108 runs. He was Ben Stokes was partnering him. Ben Stokes was the first victim as he was caught by. Now this was a brilliant catch by Mohammad Ali in the fence of the bowling of Mohammad Nawaz. Ben Stokes had really hit it with awesome power, one could call, and definitely Mohammad Nawaz, putting in the dive absolutely at the right time and picking up the catch, and that was the end of Ben Stokes. So Ben Stokes was gone for 41, as I said, and Harry Brook's contribution was 108. Harry Brook, he was a victim as he was out to the bowling of the leg spinner Zahid Mahmood as he tried to play one across and the ball probably hit the toe end of the bat, and that was the end of Harry Brook, caught at deep square leg by Saud Shakil. After that, there was not much, not nothing after that. I think it was just a wrap up by the Pakistani bowlers. Abrar Ahmed coming into the mix. Ollie Robinson was clean ball, going for a booming drive. He's gone for three. Mark Wood also was a victim of Zahid Mahmood. He was gone for six with one boundary. Jack Leach was not out or not. James Anderson was the last man out. LBW Zahid Mahmood for four. And the England innings wound up pretty quickly as they were bowled out for 275 by Pakistan. I thought that was a good job done by Pakistan under the circumstances. They're setting Pakistan 355 runs for victory. The bowling, Muhammad Ali was wicketless, none for 44. Ashraf was wicketless, none for 12. Abrar Ahmed will definitely savor this game, whether Pakistan lose or Pakistan win. The reason being, he would be happy if Pakistan win because he would have played a great part in this game. On his test debut, Abrar Ahmed claiming 11 wickets in the match. That's a great feeling. 1 for 42 for Mohammad Nawaz, Zaid Mahmood 3 for 52, and Pakistan came out to bat. And the target for Pakistan was 355 runs to get. 355 runs, and also I have to tell you that if Pakistan get to 355 runs tomorrow, they would have staged the most successful chase in their test history. Now, that is something which is looking pretty far off, according to me. But if you look at the equation, it's 157 runs tomorrow that they have to get. And as I said, they have 6 wickets in hand, and they have a very well settled Saud Shakil, who's looking pretty good at the crease. He's 54 not out with 5 boundaries. So let's hear the story for Pakistan as to what really panned out at Multan. The opening. Well, one good thing that Pakistan did, whether it was something which was forced on them, one does not know. But if you keenly observe it, Pakistan rejigged their batting lineup. they changed the whole batting lineup. They opened with Mohammad Rizwan. Mohammad Rizwan opening with Abdullah Shafiq definitely put in a good partnership to really blunt the English pacers. That was a good job done. And Ben Stokes did not waste any time. He immediately pressed Jack Leach into action, and that was a good ploy. And I've been really impressed by England's captain Ben Stokes' captaincy. He has been doing a wonderful job. He has been ringing in the changes at the right time, and it has been yielding results. Abdullah Shafiq and Mohammad Rizwan opened the innings, and Mohammad Rizwan, unlike the first innings, I thought he was much convincing today. Even though he took his time at the crease, which was essential, and Pakistan have all the time in the world to get to the target. But now, what is going to be of grave concern at Multan is going to be the fact that there is some uneven bounce on this pitch. Now, that is going to be a very worrisome factor for Pakistan, and one probably thinks that the pitch might deteriorate. We are going into the fourth day tomorrow, and the pitch might even deteriorate. So that is my strong feeling. One has to wait and watch. So the first wicket to go, Mohammad Rizwan, after, as I said, doing a better job than what he did in the first innings, lost his stumps to James Anderson. Now, this was another very good delivery from Anderson. Anderson getting the line absolutely right. The ball zipped around, and Rizwan was totally surprised because for Rizwan, he was just in line of the off stump, probably trying to get into a defensive mode. But to see the stumps rattle was something that Rizwan would have never expected. He's absolutely perplexed there as the ball went on to hit the stumps. This was a wonderful delivery from James Anderson, and Mohammad Rizwan was walking back to the pavilion. But after that, the Jaffa that Ollie Robinson produced was a real sight to watch. He did it to Babar Azam, the Pakistani captain, in the first innings. He once again did it to the Pakistani captain. What a delivery! That was much better than what James Anderson delivered, because here Babar Azam was shouldering arms to a delivery which was actually pitched on the off stump, and Babar Azam was under the impression that the ball probably is going to just move away. But what happened was that the ball suddenly started reverse swinging, one could call, as the ball actually snaked in. It jagged in, and all that Babar Azam could see was his stumps were rattled at the time. And what a poor game for Babar Azam, the Pakistani captain, in the second test match. So that was the end of Babar Azam. Bowl Robinson for one, and the score was 67 for two. And that was not one would have expected from Babar Azam, but that was it. Was it due to uneven bounce? One does not know. And then Saud Shakil joined the other partner, Abdullah Shafiq, who was looking more confident at the crease. And he was also showing signs of aggression against the spinners as well. But Abdullah Shafiq was the next victim. This was Mark Wood beating him for sheer pace, as his forward defense was totally breached, one could call, as it was a pretty quick delivery from Mark Wood. And I thought the ball was quicker enough than Abdullah Shafiq's bat. And that was the end of Abdullah Shafiq. But he played a good hand, 45, 4 fours and 2 sixes. So now the Pakistani score was 83 for 3, and in walked in, as I said, they rejigged the batting lineup. So Saud Shakil had come ahead of the opener Imam ul Haq, and Imam ul Haq walked in. But definitely, Pakistan, when the score read 83 for 3 when Abdullah Shafiq was out. So now one was thinking as to what's going on, Imam ul Haq and Saud Shakil at the crease. But what a partnership from them. Absolutely a real rescue attempt by both these batsmen. And they took it all the way down to the close of play with Saud Shakil showing a wide array of strokes. And Imam ul Haq, he's such a good player, and he was absolutely at ease as well. He was also playing some good strokes, but the partnership was really growing by proportion, and it had yielded 108 runs for the good. They came in at this time in 83 for 3. Now, it was just a matter of Saud Shakil and Imamul Haq going through the paces and going to the safety of the stumps. But it was not to be, as just before stumps, just probably, I think, let's have a look. Jack Leach actually picked up Imamul Haq's wicket in the 61st over. And so just 3 overs before the close of play, that was a big wicket for England, because this was Jack Leach, the left arm spinner, pitching the ball on the rough, which was created outside the off stump, and it was Imamul Haq actually trying to put it through the cover region. I think probably he was beaten in the flight. And it was all over. He could not get the full face of the bat to the ball, and the ball went to the slip fielder, and it was gobbled up by Joe Root. And I think that was a big wicket, because this partnership was much settled, and Pakistan would have been very happy at close of play to see the score at 198 for 3, but it was not to be. The score read 198 for 4. Imamul Haq back in the pavilion, out for 60 with 7 boundaries, leaving Saud Shakil not out 54 at stumps, with Fahim Ashraf, another good all-rounder, not out on 3. And I think if you look at it, Saud Shakil, yes, is looking settled, but this pitch, it is a bit dicey. Whether if you look at the runs, it's only 157. So Pakistan definitely have a chance. There's no doubt about it. So tomorrow is going to be a result day. Either it's going to be a Pakistan win, or it's going to be an England win. If they pick up the 6 wickets, it can't be a draw. It's only 150. So only two results are possible. One is unless rain comes and pays spoil sport. Fine, Ashraf is not out on 3. Now, just to analyze it, Saud Shakil, yes, as I said, he is looking well settled. But again, the test will come when in the morning dew, the English bowlers will be full of life. So that is going to be a factor, according to me. One good thing for Pakistan is that this ball is old. It's 64 overs old right now. So but one thing that they have to guard against is Ollie Robinson and James Anderson could generate some reverse swing here. As far as so that is going to be the key part of it. Fahim Ashraf is a good player. Now this is the time for Fahim Ashraf to come good, because they still have Agha Salman till to come. Agha Salman can bat, as he has shown, as he has already shown. Mohammad Nawaz is a decent bat. Now the tail starts from Zahid Mahmood, Abrar Ahmed, and Muhammad Ali. So to me, I probably think both the teams are having their chances, but I'm tilting it towards England here. Looking at the bowling, 1 for 14 Ollie Robinson, 1 for 88 for Jack Leach, 1 wicket apiece for Mark Wood and James Harrison. Those spinners have not come into the equation, and as I said, it will be very interesting to see how the pitch behaves on the 4th day. But nevertheless, we are in for a spectacular result tomorrow. So if Pakistan win, they level the series and go to the 3rd test in Karachi. But if they lose, England win the series. So let's see what happens. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think that only leaves me time to say goodbye on this show right now. And hopefully, tomorrow I'm not sure whether I will be. It will be my work day tomorrow, so I'm not pretty sure whether I'll be on air. But time permitting, you might probably see me. But I can't promise you anything. But on weekends, yes, I'm always there on this cricket show. But weekdays would be a bit difficult. But probably I'll give it a try. But I won't promise anything. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show, and looking forward to your company probably during the weekend, but a slight edge maybe tomorrow. Thank you.